Ooh. Oh, Father Ted was a documentary. Father Ted was a documentary. And also, Christian Zionists trying to bring about the end of the world. And not only that, second coming of Christ. What's up with all these lads trying to bring around the second coming of Christ? You got ISIS, you got these... I found out some mad shit. But for that, Vegan Steven Podcast is a parody of a podcast. Vegan Steven's a fictional character. All characters and events in the show, even though it's based on real people, are entirely fictional. All celebrity voices are impersonated poorly. The following program contains coarse language and due to its content should not be viewed by anyone. We are live. The time is 12:44. Delighted to be here. It's the Vegan Steven Podcast. How have you been keeping? Bit of coronavirus going on right now. Right here, right now, baby. It's the 1st of Friday the 1st, May 2020. We're, people are starting to come out of lockdown worldwide. In Dublin anyway, Dublin. I always think Dublin is a country and everyone outside Dublin's just a fucking culture. Even if they're from Spain, if they're from China, he's a fucking culture. Culture is just... Yeah, culture... Jeez, doesn't get much worse than that. Racial slur, man. Cultures. Fucking cultures. Everyone who's just outside Dublin is a culture. So, flipping out. This is the #1 podcast. This is the #1 vegan podcast. Also, promoting positive mental health. That's good. It's not just for vegans, it's for everyone. I'm your host, Vegan Steven. We are currently live everywhere at the time of recording. So, trying to say anything silly or pass any wind. Just make sure you press that subscribe button, hit that like, share if you care. What was it? We're on iTunes every single day, Instagram, Vegan Steven Music, on TikTok, Twitter's Vegan Steven Pod, and Facebook and all that is just Vegan Steven Music. How have you been getting on? I was watching yesterday, if you were tuned in to the Vegan Steven Podcast, everyone who was tuning into the Vegan Steven Podcast, who wasn't tuning into the Vegan Steven Podcast, say aye. Exactly. Very good. Vegan Steven Podcast. Yeah. So, yesterday's podcast was called Private Jet Pastors, and we looked at evangelical, maybe mispronouncing that, Christians and so on. So I was watching this, and I was getting sucked in. I was like, Jesus, this Jesus sounds like a good man. I think I might give this Christian stuff a go. It seems all start to be making sense. So I was watching it, and I was watching it away, and they start going on about Israel. And if anyone was tuned in, I had a podcast a while ago, something like, what was Israel all about or something, because I'm new on the scene. I'm a little baba, so I don't really understand what's going on. But here's some things. It says Christians united for Israel. Now I thought, me being a naive little toddler or whatever, I thought, I don't know. I'm way over my head here. Here's what Christians United for Israel homepage says. Over 8 million members defend Israel and the fight against anti-Semitism in our communities, churches, college, campuses and media on Capitol Hill. I don't know where Capitol Hill is, but stay away from it. It's getting a bad review here on ChristianZionism.org. So, loads of these lads start your biblical journey. Christians, Israel, yeah. So, right now, as I said, right, we got all the disclaimers out of the way. The Jews and the Muslims want Israel or something. I'm mixing this up a lot. I was just, why the Christians want it? What's their game? Do they just want it because everyone else wants it? And it turns out, there's these lads called Christian Zionists. Woo! Let's play that spooky music. There's these lads called Christian Zionists, and they keep talking about it on these, donate $1,000 for all this stuff. Vote for this president or that president because he's pro Israel, free Palestine, all that stuff. That's what I'm thinking about. Okay, so let's stay focused here, ladies. Christian Zionism is a belief among some Christians that the return of the Jews to the Holy Land and the established of the state of Israel in 1948, so after the old World War there, we were in accordance with the Bible prophecy. Alright, Bible prophecy, that's very important. Alright, so hold on to that one. The term began to be used in the mid-20th century. Christian restorationism, or some big word there. Superseding Christian RESTORATIONSIOM. So yeah, I was just like, oh yeah, grand. But I was just so baffled. I was like, why does the Christians want the Jews in Israel? Like, what's all this about? I just don't. I thought all the religions like were kind of having, brotherly and sister spats, just like, oh no, I'm right, no, you're right, no, you I don't like your shoes, no, I don't like, you did this to my great granddad, no, the usual crack. Just so I was watching this and I was like, right, what's going on here? Like, why do these Christians really want the Jews in Israel? Like, it's a bit suspect, you might say. So there's a good few bob being pumped into. So a lot of people say America's sides with Israel and all this stuff, and other people are like, oh, me, I'm just like, what's all this about? What's all this about? But anyways, these Christian preachers, this was their angle. This is their, like, they wanted. All right, so stay with me. Shit's about to get bonkers. All right, here you are. Preachers and private jets. However, the Christian advocacy, ADVOCACY, grew after the Protestant Reformation in support of the restoration of the Jews and has its roots in the 7th century of England. Contemporary Israel historian Antania Soprana suggests that the evangelical Christian Zionists in England in the 1840s, so it's older than Scientology, passed this notion on the Jews' circles or something, while the Jewish nationalism and the earliest 19th century was widely regarded with hostility by British Jews. HOSTILTY. Alright, some Christian Zionists believe that the gathering of the Jews. Alright, are you ready for this? Alright, this is why. So normally Zionists, the whole phrase, they're like a subgenre of. This is not going to come. I'm apologising for a very poor word choice right now. They're like, it's like classic rock. Well, there's other subdivisions like fucking pop punk and all this stuff. Well, Zionists are like a spin-off of the Jews or whatever. And what they're looking for, since after World War II in 1948 or something like that, they were like, right, we've been kicked out of every country. We want a place for ourselves that we can just call our own and all that stuff. And there's this thing in the Bible that says, this is an important place, so fight over it and all that stuff. I don't know. So grand, but these Christians are really want the Jews to go to Israel. Alright, but they really, like, passionately want them to go there. In fact, the majority of I can't remember. There's only so many Jews in America. I know this is not going to come across well, But the majority of people who are like pro-Israel are American Christians, according to some suspect. Anyway, so here's why. So once again, Father Ted was a documentary. Here we go. Hold on to your socks, about to be blown off. Hold on to your socks here. Some Christian Zionists. You ready? Alright, I'll see you after the break. Now, some Christian Zionists believe that the gathering... Christian Zionist Wikipedia. Here we go. Some Christian Zionists believe that the gathering of the Jews in Israel is a prerequisite. Damn, that's a hard word. For the second coming of Jesus. The idea has been common in Protestant circles since the Reformation of Christians should actively support the Jewish return to the land of Israel, along with the parallel idea that the Jews ought to be encouraged to become Christians as a means for fulfilling biblical prophecy. So, holy fuckballs. They didn't really get into it there. But listen to the pastors. What they want is all the Jews to go there, and then there's going to be the end of the world. They're trying to start the end of the fucking world, lads. And then everyone's going to be fucking judged and all this fucking mad shit. And... oh, Jesus. They're trying to end the flipping world, lads. Christian support for the Jewish restoration was brought to America by the Puritans who fled England. Jesus. So these lads want the Jews to go there so that Jesus, the big man's going to come out of the sky, judge everyone. They said they were saying these... No, I'm not sure. Alright, they were saying like, right, 2/3 of the Jews are going to be killed. Because I don't really know why. I think they just make this shit up as they go along. I don't know. 2/3 of Jews are going to be killed. And then all these born again, only the Christians should have been born again. And only a certain sect of these Christians will all be just standing around and watching all this happen. And then something to do with the end of the world and all this stuff. And then Jesus will be going around and saying... I don't know what he's doing. To be honest, I don't know. They all seem to tell a different story and none of them seem to line up. So, and then yeah, so other Christians and they're just like, oh no, that's a lot of bollocks. So, oh Jesus, the pastors, man, the pastors. What? Jerusalem declared on Christian Zionism, man. Alright, that's a hot potato anyway, so that just melted my brain because I heard about ISIS second coming. It seems like a load of lads, maybe you guys knew this already, but there's a load of lads like ISIS and stuff who are trying to end the world to get the second coming of, was it Jesus versus time twin? I don't know, Armageddon Countdown and Rise of ISIS and Sharia, I don't know. Oh my gosh. What's up with lads trying to... Oh, here we are. ISIS, horn rock band. Oh god. There was a lad I grew up with. I'm going to have to hide his identity heavily. But he was a... oh jeez, I can't remember what he was. He was like a Mormon or something. And he was going on about the end of the world and stuff, and... oh, it's just really awkward. Like, he was going on about the trumpets playing and Jesus coming, everyone be judged, and oh Jesus. But everyone in school felt really, I mean, shit. Fictional character. Everyone just felt really fucking sorry for him, kind of, because they're just like... He was completely normal, a lovely lad, until you talk to him about this stuff, and he's just like, oh, what? How do you believe this shit? But having said that, I'm a vegan, so I'm also bonkers. The reason I turned vegan, is because I saw a little duck, and it was a lovely little duck, and a few little ducks there, and the mammy duck was walking along, and a bunch of crows were flying down and taking the ducks one by one, and ducks can't count, so she didn't know all her kids are being taken away and eaten alive by crows. So I was just like, that's kind of what humans do, isn't it, to all the other animals? So I was like, alright, I don't really want to get involved. I don't know. I was just trying to distance myself from that. So what I'm trying to say is, we all believe mad shit. I'm here judging people for believing the world's ended and all this stuff, but I'm going around not eating meat and stuff, so I'm as bad as everyone else. No one, shit. No one would. Take 3. No one wants to get upset. Information repressed and shouted down. Jeez, alright, this might take a while. You don't have to, you don't have to. You don't have to, you don't have to, you don't have to. So this wrote another song about it. Classic singer-songwriter, isn't it? No one wants to get up. Jeepers. Do you want to hear my excuse why my homework isn't good? It's because it's in a different key. I normally play it up here. But I'm gonna make you listen through it. Don't worry. I think the performer's ready. Please welcome to the stage that lad. No one wants to get upset. Information repressed and shouted down. No one wants to get upset. Information repressed and shouted down. Do you think it's acceptable for their hell you paid for the slaughter, and you help in the cage? But I won't, and you have to. You don't have to. No one wants to get upset. Information repressed and shouted down. When money comes into it, everything changes, everything changes. Do you think it's acceptable for their hell you paid for the slaughter, and you help build a cage? But I you ready? You ready to sing along? So you just go, you don't have to, you don't have to, you don't have to. That's all you gotta do. Are you ready? You don't have to, you don't have to, you don't have to. Alright? You don't, keep going. You don't have to, you don't. It's gonna be great, hang on. Keep going, keep going. You don't have to, you don't have to, you don't. And then I'm gonna sing something different. Here we go. You don't have to. So that's an old tune. As I said, we all have our own beliefs, don't we? I'm here making fun of the Christian Zionists. I don't even know if I'm making fun of them. I'm just fucking baffled. I'm absolutely baffled. Baffled and impressed. Lads. So. There you are, I'm a big man, and I was having a big cry because I saw ducks being eaten by fucking crows. Man. You walk around thinking you're a big fucking hard lad, don't you? You're like, oh, fucking, if there's a fucking fight, I'll fucking box the head off him. And you might carry like a little, well, Jesus, I guess you can't, yeah, I don't know. But you'd be walking down the street strutting your stuff, being like, yeah, I'm a big man, fucking women are looking at me all this shit, fucking wearing nice clothes today, how you getting on a date or whatever, or just fucking, I don't know, what do lads do, fucking doing lad shit, I don't know. Going around thinking you're class, throwing rocks at fucking things. Man, one little baby duck dies, and I just fucking burst into tears, man. Burst into fucking tears, fucking public. Fucking ashamed of myself. Sure, look. So that's a little song about that one anyway. Jesus. So you might have heard my voice shooting out of tune, so that's the important of it's registered choice, and so on. I don't know. I guess I should have practiced. But I think it's better to not practice loads. And bear with me. One, because I'm very lazy. That's why I don't practice. And number two is because I think it's a lot more interesting when you see someone on the verge of fucking up. It's just like it's watching a train wreck in slow motion or something. It's just fucking interesting. Like, oh my god, this lad's fucking on fire. But man, he said some ropey shit there. But fucking hell, he brought it back somehow. How the fuck do you do that, man? I don't know. As people keep telling me when I love people saying like, oh, Vegan Seeing Podcast, you gotta check it out, it's the best podcast ever. And they're like, alright, chill out, I'll decide if it's any good. Alright. In our I don't know where you lads are from, but if you have any kind of ego in Ireland, you'll be taken down like that, man. I said I remember I was playing a gig in Ireland and I was like, alright, this is one of the I have a little bit of an ego. I was like, this is one of the best songs you'll ever hear. And I was there getting ready, and then some lad just shouts out, alright, we'll decide that, play your little song. And it's so good, just you try to be confident, and lads just go, shut the fuck up, alright, I'm here trying to drink me pint. And to be honest, the lad came up to me afterwards and he said, did you really write that? That was class. So yeah, who knows? It's a bit of an awkward one, isn't it? Because if you have no confidence, no one's ever going to hear your work, isn't it? So you kind of got to believe you're the best, but also tell people that you know you're not the best, otherwise they won't like you. So it's kind of awkward. It's an awkward mishmash of you got to be super confident, but not let people know that you're confident, because then they'll think you're a dick. But yeah, sure. Listen, get out the little violin. Oh, I have a little hard, I have a hard life. Oh, being steamed. Oh, boo hoo. Christian Zionists. Fucking hell. Oh, I'm not even like having a go with them. I'm just fucking baffled. Now, I was watching a documentary there last night. So, one of them was called "Why Evangelical Christians Love Israel." So you can check that out if you want. It's on Vice on HBO. I was referencing that a little bit there. They just have a lot of Christians going around and just being like, in Israel, and it's so fucking, in the documentary they're like, oh my god, they show up, all these busloads of fucking Christians, right, just fucking show up, and I know a lad who went there and stuff, but I didn't realise what the fuck he was getting up to and why he was going to fucking Israel. Of course it all makes sense now. I don't know. But they brought these big gang of Christians, and they're like, oh, our friends the Palestinians, oh, they have machine guns, oh, our friends the Palestinians, so you gotta wear a big hard hat and a big bulletproof vest, because they're actually gonna shoot, they're actually shooting at us, so we need to wear. So, boy, Jesus, how much would you want to go somewhere that you have to wear a fucking... If someone told me if you have to go somewhere, you're gonna have to wear a fucking bulletproof vest and a helmet thing, and there's gonna be lads who do not want you there like 24/7, I'd just be like, it's all right, man. I'll go somewhere else. Like, I'll stay at home, or I'll go to the usual pub or something. I don't want to be arse like with all that drama. Now that's very ignorant to me because I'm not big into the Bible and stuff. Sure. Whatever. Do you ever? I'm terrified, mate. I don't know if you guys have this thing. I'm terrified that I'll get converted to Christianism or something, or Muslim or Jewish or one of these things. Absolutely terrified. And I remember telling this to one of my aunts or something, and they were like, "The Jews would never have you." And I was like, "What? Why? What's wrong with me?" And they like, No. You have to be married. Your mother has to be a Jew or something. I was like, I don't know. I was personally offended. I was like, why won't they have me? I don't know. As I said, we all have wacky beliefs. Of course, the Christians and everyone else is right and I'm wrong. Sure, listen. Here we go. So I thought I'd share that with you because I was just, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, do the Jews know that the Christians are trying to get them fucking exterminated here by the big lad, or what the fuck's going on? As said, I kind of half watched the documentary, so I have. That's what I'm giving you. It's there. I'm giving you the fucking. It's there if you want it or whatever. Christians for home. Oh jeez, that's just Christian Zionists, man. And they got a list of like people who it's really funny because some of them they're like, it's in the Bible, and then you ask other Christians and they're like, oh, I did not see that in the Bible. So, anyway, biblical interpretation. Some Christian Zionists interpret the prophanic prophetic texts as describing innovative future events, and these events primarily involve Israel, taken to mean the descendants of the biblical Jacob and Judah. Taken to the... I'm kind of lost already. The prophecies are seen as requiring the Here we go. The prophecies are seen as requiring the presence of a Jewish state in the Holy Land. So they want the Jews to be there, because otherwise the world can't end and Jesus can't come down. That's, yeah, alright. The central part of the lands promised to the biblical Patriach Abraham in the Convent of the Pieces. This requirement is sometimes interpreted as being fulfilled by the contemporary state of Israel. So there you are. So it's in the Bible. You can't argue with that, can you? If it's in the Bible, that's that. Alright, moving on. So, had a little Google here. Second Coming. Father Ted was a documentary. Here we go. I've talked to people who work in the parish, kind of near priests and stuff, and they say, like, I've met every single priest from Father Ted. Like, they're all, you've met them all. All those sorts are in real life. The Second Coming of Jesus, sometimes called the Second Advent. So to go back to, it might sound a bit, just to explain myself, when I was talking about, we're all kind of, there was a kid and we were all kind of mates or whatever, and they were like, he wouldn't talk about, the Second Coming because he knew we'd slag him. And I didn't understand why he wouldn't tell me this thing. But as soon as he told me, like, I was just looking at my mates and they were like, yeah, he believes this. Which is fine. I don't know. It just blew our minds when we were kids. Like, we were like, who is telling you this stuff? Like, have you been watching Star Wars or what's going on? Because we didn't know anyone who wasn't, I don't know, who wasn't, I don't know, kind of, we're aware of kind of Christians and Protestants because we'd seen them around before, Muslims and other things, but we'd never come across these lads who are waiting for the end of the world and trumpets and stuff. So what's all this about? The idea based on, the Second Coming of the Second Advent of Parousia is a Christian and Islamic briefing regarding the future or past returning of Jesus. After his ascension to heaven, about 2,000 years ago. The idea is based on metaphysic properties, messianic, Messianic prophecies, and part most by Christian evangelists. Jesus, what does that even mean? A major branch of study within the Christian theology dealing with the last things. Okay, that's what that means. So, Jesus coming. He's coming. And he fucking hates vegans. So, I might be the first lad he gets. I don't know. Respect. Respect to Jesus. Unfortunately, this podcast and every episode of the Vegan Stephen podcast is sponsored by the gods, which include Zeusy Boy, Oprah Winfrey's, Pat Short, that comedian, and also I was going to say Tom Hanks, but I don't know if he's Dr. Phil. He's a good family name. He's in trouble at the moment, but it's all good. And Big Ed. Big Ed, special guest on the Gods front today. So, thank you for our sponsors. Several different terms are used to refer to the Second Coming of Christ. Brilliant. In the New Testament, the Greek word is used 5 times to refer to the return of Christ. The Greek Testament uses the Greek persona. Sorry lads, there's just about 1 million big words here I've never seen before in my life, and they're not in English. So, alright, so yeah, there you are, alright? Brilliant. Evangelical views, most versions of the... He ascended into heaven and seated at the right hand of the Father. He came again, and his glory of judge the living and the dead, and his kingdom will have no end. We look for the resurrection of the dead and the life of the world to come. So it's all there. It says basically, it's right there. It says the Jews need to be in fucking Israel and stuff. It's right there in front of your eyes. Alright? Couldn't make it up because it's right there, in fact. Right, here we go. Armageddon's coming. Alright. Father Ted was a documentary. Father Ted, Father Ted. Small, far away, the world is of Father Ted. Is Father Ted British or Irish? It's an Irish actor by a British company. Father Ted to become Pope in stage musical. Alright. So, here's something else. Blur. Watch the documentary there. No Distance Left to Run. It's very good, very emotional though. Imagine the old lads you grew up with school and then you all fall out over, I don't know, they're all, I don't know. It's an emotional documentary. Blur, this British pop band, Britpop, and they're very good. And they had a documentary about how they were really big and they did loads of drugs and all the good stuff. Not so much loads of women. One of them had loads of women, so I was kind of like, oh jeez. I don't know, whatever you're into. And usual crack, you know, fucking rose to fame, put out a load of class albums, ended up all hating each other, broke up. There. Happy days. And at the end they kind of get back together, yeah, because who knows. But if you're into rockumentaries, it's good as any of them, honestly, it's good as anyone. They even reference other classic rockumentaries like the Metallica one, Some Kind of Monster, and if you're into rock documentaries, Metallica are like the most parodied. I have a I don't want to make this podcast about me, but I've watched every single rockumentary that I'm aware of. And some of my favourites are the Metallica ones. Everyone loves the Metallica ones, but they're also like comedy gold as well. Because they take themselves so seriously. They don't, like, when I get a big head, people beside me are just like, who is this clown? When I'm, you know, I get a big ego or something, or something, just, you know, I don't have any yes men around me. I want, if any of you yes men are out there, fucking, I want you. I want to be surrounded by a team of yes men, because all I've got at the moment is, I'm not sure about that now, men. So I've got like, I'm not sure about that, men. I've got loads of those. But your look, it's good to have that as well, I guess, isn't it? Man, I feel so fucking guilty for making fun of the Jews and the Christians. But I didn't even make fun of anyone. It's the fear. Like a lot of famous people. I'm Instagram. What am I? I'm fucking podcast famous now, or some shit. Podcast famous, Instagram famous. I don't know. It's the fear of offending people, which I don't know. It's an awkward one with comedy because it's the uncomfort, that friction and tension that makes people laugh. But sometimes you don't release the tension properly or something, and it just ends up coming across as really racist. So, anyway, should listen. Father Ted, Father Ted. Second coming of Christ, man. The second. Oh, I have specific dates here for the second coming, so get your calendar out. Here we go. Specific date prediction claim. Alright, you ready? Here we go. Pen and paper ready. According to the Bible, the date is unknown. Here. That's a bit of a tall tale now. The only God, the Father, knows when Christ will return. Only God knows when the Father, Christ, will return. What? Only God The Father knows when Christ will return. Sounds a little bit made up. Just saying this. I don't know. I'm a bit of a skeptic. Well, listen. Anyway, he will come again, and his glory. So he's a bit of an arrogant lad. He likes dressing in drag or something. To judge the living and the dead. Grand. And his kingdom will have no end. ... We look for the resurrection of the dead. Man, it'd be so awkward if all the dead people came back. They'd be like, this is my gaff. And fucking, you'd be there, you've moved in with all your stuff, and they'd be like, I used to live here. Do you know what's fucking gross when you're in the graveyard? I don't know if you guys ever hang around the graveyards. I do. It's an old trick by... It's to do with like selling your soul to the devil and stuff. You hang around in graveyards because no one can hear you singing and stuff. I'm referencing blues guitarist. Soul to soul at the crossroads. Robert Johnson. So he was fucking shy at guitar, right? He was fucking awful. All his mates were better than him. He went missing for 2 years. And then he came back and he was fucking class. And everyone's like, how'd you get so fucking class? There's a rumour going around, oh, he sold his soul to the devil. He didn't sell his soul to the devil. He hung around, he stayed up all night drinking fucking pints in the graveyard and practiced playing guitar in the graveyard. Writing songs in the graveyard. Boris Johnson just had a baby out of wedlock, Who's Boris Johnson? Don't make fun for the Ted. We're coming out of lockdown. We're coming out of lockdown this week, baby. Coming out of lockdown. We're living in Europe, darling. Christian Zionists want the Jews in Jerusalem, bringing around the end of the world. Christian Zionists. So the Blur documentary, it's fucking brilliant, but it's very sad. Kind of. It's kind of like watching a divorce kind of movie, breakup movie. Ah, sure, look. Father Ted. Catholic Orthodox. Jeez. Religion's some crack altogether. Father Ted is a British-made sitcom that was produced by Hat Trick Productions for Channel 4, written by Irish writers Arthur Matthews and Graham Lyon, starring prominently, how'd you say that word? Predominantly Irish cast. It originally aired for over 3 series in 1995 and 1998, including Christmas specials, 25 episodes. Set on Craggy Island in a remote location. in the west coast of Ireland, starring Dermot Morgan. He sponsored the podcast. He's a fucking legend. And jeepers. As the Emporious EPONYMOUS Father Ted Crilly, alongside fellow priests Father Dougal Maguire, Father Jack Hackett. Exiled on the island for various past incidents, the priests live together in a Parochial house, Parochial house, with their housekeeper Mrs. Doyle. The show was critically acclaimed, receiving a BAFTA, and remains popular sitcom in the UK and Ireland. In 2001, a poll by Channel 4, Dougal ranked the 5th on their list of 100 greatest TV characters. In 2019, Father Ted was ranked the 2nd in a list to the greatest British sitcoms. Fawlty Towers was the best. Fawlty Towers, fucking what a show. What a show. Synopsis. And there's a load of fucking things happened. There you are. It's very good, and whatever you're doing, you're probably better off just watching that if you haven't seen it already. There's some good life lessons in there. Are you racist now, Father? Okay. Alright. Here we are. We're in. We have the best Father Ted quotes googled. Here we go. Hopefully these are nice and punchy. Because if they're not punchy, I don't know what we're going to do. Alright. Funniest. Are you racist, Father? Are you racist now, Father? Yeah. Brilliant. Alright. A lot of people are still looking into... Big in the news right now is nationalism. So people being very paranoid about Chinese investment in their business. And people thinking that we need to build stuff at home. That's not me. That's like what loads of different countries are saying about their own country. I doubt Ireland are saying it because, jeez, we'd be shied at making fucking €2 shop stuff. I mean nothing. That money was just resting my account. That's very good. That's number one. That money was just resting my account. That's Father Ted himself. Oh, that's very good. This is entertainment.ie. 24 quotes. I love my brick. That's very good. One of the priests has a pet brick on a string. And that's mad, Ted. No, Dougal, that's not mad. I think he's explaining religion to Dougal or something. One priest explaining how religion works to another priest. Shoddy workmanship, that is, Ted. These, yeah, fucking hell. Alright, let's keep going. Feck arse, drink girls. Oh, brilliant. There's one of the priests cursed all the time, and when you're a kid, cursing's like the funniest thing ever. And still is. Which one do you prefer, Oasis or Blur? One priest saying to another priest. Here's another priest says, Father Noel, you're going on my list, Tony, along with anything Father Noel. I don't know. Yeah, Father Noel's fucking, he's great. Looks like rain, Ted. Alright, there you go. Doesn't Mary have a lovely bum? Jesus Christ. Of course they all have lovely bottoms. A priest judging a lovely girls competition. There you are. There's a housekeeper who's always trying to offer the two priests tea, and she says, go on, go on, go on, go on. There you are. Careful now. Down with that sort of thing. Two priests protesting against a pornographic movie. Careful now. Down with that sort of thing. That was probably my favourite quote growing up. You're wearing your blue jumper. Ah, yes. Dougal's poor memory. Very funny. These are small, but the others are far away. Alright, yeah. So Dougal's kind of like a slow learner priest, or childlike priest. Is there anything to be said for another mass? Ah, fucking brilliant. Priests who love mass. Who would he be like? Hitler or one of those mad fellas? Or worse than Hitler? You wouldn't find Hitler playing jungle music at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's Dougal talking about Brendan Grace's character. And it's very good. One priest giving out about another priest. Cowboys, Ted. Bunch of cowboys. Oh, Jesus, yeah. One priest giving out about shoddy workmanship and Father Ted's gaff, and just like trashing his gaff. Fucking brilliant. I'm no good at juggling the size of crowds, Ted, but I'd say there about 17 million of them out there. I'm no good at judging the size of crowds, Ted, but I'd say there's about 17 million out there. I think that's when there's a load of old women trying outside the house, Father Ted house there. I've had my fun, that's all that matters. Brendan Grace quote, happy days. I love cake, or I have no willy, or again, everything uttered by Owen McLovin. Yeah, he's, oh Jesus Christ. They hide a jumper inside his birthday cake. It's fucking wild. It's fucking weird. It's very good. Fucking hell. That's Father Ted quote. Spider baby. It's got a body of a spider and the mind of a baby. That's very good. That's Father Dougal again. It's Ireland's largest lingerie section, I understand. So a lot of priests get stuck in a laundry section. So bras and stuff. And they can't be seen in the laundry section because it would be bad public image for the priests. Oh man. Oh, it's very good. I hear you're racist now, Father. Yeah. Yeah, the people people think the priest is a racist because he gets caught doing some Hitler impressions or something, and the parish are very concerned because they're like, oh, does this mean we have to be racist? I don't think I have the time. Is this worse? Because they want to just do whatever the priest is doing. We're all going to heaven, lads. Way. My lovely horse. Oh, that's so good. They have a Eurovision song or something called My Lovely Horse. My lovely horse running through the fields. Man. Father Ted. So, yeah. Like I said, it's a documentary. Comedy style. The series is set in a humorously surreal world in which Ted is the only full-rounded normal character among caricatures, according to Graham Linehan. Exaggerated, over-friendly, over-quiet, over-stupid, over-dull, they really only got one thing. They've got one job. Embarrassment plays a role in many storylines. In similar fashion, Faulty Towers Lanehan says, if Ted is a situation that is slightly embarrassing, we've got him off it by having him lying or cheating, basically digging a massive hole for himself. So good. Arthur Matthews has described Seinfeld as a major influence on the comedy of Father Ted. That's no way. That's brilliant. With himself and Lennon becoming big fans of the show. Father Ted also contains references to pop culture in some film parodies such as Speed 3. It's so good. Speed is like a film where there's a bus, and if the bus goes below a certain speed, the bus will blow up, so they have to keep driving around and all this stuff. So Father Ted do their own parody of it, where it's like a milk truck, and Dougal, that kind of city priest I was talking about, has to go around in circles on the milk truck to stop it exploding. And because the milk truck is going like fucking 4 miles an hour or something, 2 miles a fortnight. So very funny, very funny. Regarding the series' religious content, Lebanon says Ted doesn't have any anti-religious view of life, but a non-religious view. It's a job to him. He doesn't care about religion. While writing, he says the TV show's creator imagined Ted and Dougal as just two people who happened to be priests. So it's very honest, and just like I said, sometimes like I try to take myself real seriously, and then people are just like, come on, you're not that important. You spilled fucking coffee all over yourself a minute ago, I saw you. It's like it's very good, very Irish. In the Irish media frequently use the series as a point of comparison for political stories. It's the comedians in the characters in the cast is made up of comedians, more or less, and the guest stars are often guest comedians. So it's quite humorous. Comedy timing, gorgeous. The Irish media finally, January 2007, a dispute between the claim to be Craggy Island. Oh Jesus, right. Lots of people go to Craggy Island, which is the place the film was shot. The house, I don't know what to say. It's big in Australia. It's big in the United Kingdom and Ireland, and it's also big in the United States. It's fucking good, isn't it? Father Ted musical. Potential remakes. Oh shit, remakes. Nice one. Let's just find out who wants the end of the world. Who wants the end of the world? Here's what the world would look like. End of times. End of times. Brief guide to the end of the world. So I was talking about a pastor there yesterday. I think his name's Bill. He's the Bill Graham. No, that's not the right guy. Shit. Oh, but they're selling End of the World. It's not Bill Graham. He's dead.